Hi guys, going to speak a little bit today about our safe relationship training toolbox and the tools in there today. I want to give you a little bit of a heads up and a hands up as far as helping you to create your own safe relationship training toolbox, which is a set of skills and tools we have in order to maintain and to create safe relationships and situations in our lives. So these tools will be used across the board. They can be used in any area of our life. They can be used to sustain safe relationships, to sustain a peaceful life and a healthy life, so that we can use those tools. We can also grow those tools by use and by research, by doing study, by doing anything that we need to do in order to create these tools. Today, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you a bit of a homework as far as this is concerned, and that is to say that in my own experience in doing this exercise, the first thing we need to realise when we're wanting to create safe relationships is to understand the types of tools that we will need in our safe relationship toolbox. We need to be able to use this knowledge to build upon in the future. So when we know the tools that we need, then we can go from there. But if we don't think seriously about the types of tools that we haven't got already, then we're not going to know where we are. We're going to be all at sea, as it were. And so we need to take a serious look at what we haven't got in our safe relationship toolbox. What are the types of skills that we haven't got already? What are the types of situations that have been created in our lives up until now because we haven't had certain skills? And one of those skills could be, for instance, the ability to be assertive, not only in our communication with other people, but actually to be assertive in our mindset and in our relationship with ourselves. So assertiveness, which is a whole other subject, is to do with really being able to assert who we are in any given situation. And in our relationships, this is a really useful skill to have anyway, and in our workplace, and in the organisations that we belong to, and in our decision-making process. Having the skills to be able to be assertive means that we're able to take care of ourselves a lot better. And when we develop those assertiveness skills, this is just one of the areas in which we can use these skills that we have in our safe relationship toolbox in order to maintain safe relationships. So I've just mentioned one tool there, which is assertiveness, having the ability to be able to communicate assertively, to make assertive actions possible because we've grown this tool, we've polished it over the years, we've practiced it, which is important, and we've brought it in to our relationships and situations in our lives appropriately as and when necessary. So that's one tool there that you could add to your list if you want to. So my homework for this week for you is to go away, sit down, have a serious think about the types of tools and skills that you need, that you maybe haven't had in the past, but you want to use in the future in order to maintain safe relationships and situations, so that these tools can be used across the board in every area of your life, and they can be maintained, which means you use them, you polish them, you use research, study, and whatever else you need to do, go on workshops or whatever else, in order to maintain this skill, this tool, at an optimum level. Because when we use something, it gets strengthened. That's something I wanted you to take away with you today. So the next part of the exercise is to, when you've thought about the types of skills that you need, is to write that list down. So you've got that list there in front of you in black and white. You can put that in your journal, or you can create a template for yourself to have on your computer. And then you can decide what actions you need to take in order to polish those tools, in order to make them effective. And that could be going on a course, it could be speaking to a counsellor or a coach or a personal development consultant, going on workshops, doing personal study, actually reading books on the subject. Whatever it takes, this skill now is going to be honed, it's going to be polished, it's going to be there waiting for you in your toolbox, so that when you're in one of these situations again, which you've been in the past, you haven't got to feel as if you're all at sea, unable to know what to do in this situation, because you've already got the skills ready. They're already there in your safe relationship toolbox. It's just a matter of taking them out, using them classily, because they've already been honed, they've already been polished, they're already available for you to use. So you haven't got to go to all the trouble of trying to hone these skills at the last minute, as it were, which often doesn't work. And you've probably found this in your relationships, where something has happened in a situation or in your relationships, and you know that you've needed to be able to be a certain way, but because you hadn't honed that skill, it wasn't available for you straight away. Whereas if you've got that skill available, then you are able to do it at a much faster rate. For instance, when I was doing my teaching training, I needed to be able to hone certain skills so that I could teach at the drop of a hat, if you will, although a lesson plan was usually brought into play, of course. But that skill needed to be honed to a certain level so that I could teach effectively in whatever situation I was in. So it's the same for any skill. We need to understand that it needs to be honed, needs to be polished, needs to be brought up to a certain level so that we have it there available. We can just pick it up, bring it into play whenever we want to, and use it appropriately. So that's the homework for this week. Decide the types of skills that you want to have in your safe relationship toolbox, and then over a period of time, take your time, do things in your own time, and in a fun way, decide how you're going to be able to hone those skills. And if you want to give me an email, my email's below, as is the website. If you want to go on there and see if there's anything on there that's of help to you, then do feel free to do so. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe. And when you've subscribed, click on the little bell underneath, and you'll receive some notifications of some more videos that may be coming up in the future. So as always, stay safe and very happy. Bye-bye.